Welcome everyone to another episode from Ampro Engineering. In this episode, we're going to review something very different. It's actually one of my favorite cars, but I'm curious about this particular toy. Let me begin by saying one of my favorite comics and cartoon series happens to be Initial D. The Toyota 86 Trueno is one of my all-time favorite cars. We didn't get this car in the States. We got something similar as the Toyota Corolla GTS, but I love this car so much that I actually modeled one of my other full-size cars around this one. So this is the image of the car. Let's just be very clear. This is not how the actual toy looks. It looks like this. When I was approached to take a look at this car, my initial thought was, you know what? This has potential. It may look like this now, but I wonder how good we can get it to look. And on a side note, it's radio control. Now on the back, they are showing that they're going to have a RX-7. I think this is an FC. Obviously, they're showing a die-cast car. Hang on a second, is this? That's 180. Oh, wow, it's bigger than I thought. Okay, let's take a look. I thought it was actually going to be a lot smaller, like 132 or 124th. I've been looking for a RC86 for many years and just have never had any luck to find one up to my standards. Okay, so here is the car. And I'm actually very happy that it's all bare plastic. That is perfect. Come here, you. Okay. We'll check the scale out shortly to see if it is in fact 1/18th. Hoping it's proportional. The radio. Oof. No, the radio. I don't like the radio. The car, I'm already digging. Are the tires rubber? They are rubber. These are double wishbone. Holy crap. Wow. They feel good. Rear suspension is also double wishbone with universal drive back there. I'll be damned. Tires are a little inboard, but the body itself looks good. Definitely looks good. It has a lot of potential. In this baggie over here, we have wipers, the charger. I don't know what battery it has. We'll check that shortly. Mirrors, door handles, and wipers. Here we have some decals. Okay. The decals look suspiciously like WPL decals. What have we got here? Wow, these are for the mirror. WPL does that also. Very interesting. That's why I was kind of like expecting to see a WPL radio, a remote control for this. And then we have a charger. I don't know what kind of battery it has. Let's investigate that. Phillips screwdriver. Let's see what you got in here. Evidently, I can't open it. Okay, and this, 7.4 volt. This is probably a lithium ion. Why does it have this weird connector? Interesting. Okay, so the car is on. Let's shut that off. It's a very long wire. Oh, I can see you shove it back in the little hole in there. We'll charge it up before we run it, but let's just, while we have it here, see what it does. So looking at the radio, throttle trim, throttle rate, steering rate, headlight controller. I'm not seeing a steering trim. Is there a little knobby on the bottom? No. All right, let's put a battery in this. It looks like there's going to be, see, even these screws remind me of WPL screws. Okay, I'll pop this off. 2 AAAs and 1, 2. It's a nice little system they've got here to put the batteries in. I kind of like that. It's just that there's no, the remote has, the bottom part of my hand doesn't know what to do. I suspect I'm not the target demographic, but it just doesn't, I'm not a fan of the remote. Okay, let's turn the car on. The car has done a thing. Okay, here's the power switch right there. That's a hell of a power switch. Let us adjust. Oh, interesting. Okay, that is steering trim, not throttle trim. Now, let's just be very clear. I don't know much about this company here. If they are just starting, let's give them a chance. The fact of the matter is WPL, when they first started, was terrible. And now they're one of my favorite RC cars. So I'm hoping that what we're seeing here is Genesis. And who knows, 5 years from now, they could have a 110 scale version of this thing here. That's just like the world's most scale thing. So let's just give everybody the benefit of the doubt here. I'm curious how this is going to behave. The steering looks reasonably straight. Okay. B is steering rate. So I suspect that will increase its ability to turn. So we'll just turn it and press B. Oh, yeah. And, okay. So A is, oh, wow. Holy crap. This just occurred to me. This is fully proportional. That's outstanding. So full throttle. Okay, cool. Let's put you down and drive you around a little bit. I'm trying to drive it slow on the tabletop. How is this? This is fully proportional. This is fully proportional. I am just so surprised. I just wouldn't have expected that. Okay, and the party piece of this thing has... Okay, yes. Oh my God, yes. I'm going to be doing this for a while. Oh my God, yes, I love it. Oh, that's outstanding. Just love it. It's great. Do we have taillights? I'm actually surprised that we don't have taillights, to be honest. It doesn't sound brilliant. I'd like to take it for a spin. I'm also curious. The tires are a little bit small. I'm curious if I can make them a bit bigger. And can we raise the rear of the car? To me, the back of the car is sitting too low. Or is it the front of the car that's sitting too low? Both are sitting too low. I want to know what's in here. Let's open it up. Screw there. Anything in the middle? Nothing in the middle. I removed all 4 screws at all 4 corners, and you should come out. We're gonna be careful because obviously something's connecting the headlight mechanism. Okay, so there's a tiny little servo attached to the hood. Boy, even that PCB looks like a WPL unit. What are these extra ports here? Ooh, I like this. All right. What can we do to this car here? Let's go to 20 volts. So right now, the headlight's off, nothing's happening. We're going to check and see if we have any voltage at these points here. 1, 2, nothing. Headlights on. 1, 2, oh, nothing still. Interesting. Let's try the rear one. Can I get the rear one from here? 1, 2, 3.27. Shut the headlights off. 3.27. So the fronts have nothing. And what are we getting here? We're getting 3.27. Okay. So, oh my God. I mean, look right there. Those are light ports. Oh, wait. There's 4 light ports at the rear. What? What are you telling me? Where is the front? Holy hell. There's light ports for the fog lights in the front. Oh my God. Okay, we're onto something here, people. We are onto something. So a few things to note. At the front, the car doesn't have symmetric steering. Turn to the right. Okay, the right looks pretty good. Turn to the left. It just seems like the right, I don't know. I think I have to set the toe. It's towed out a little bit too much. Maybe that's good for drifting. That's possible. I don't know anything about that. Why is there like no play in the steering? Holy cow. Somebody get Tamia on the phone. look at this. How is it they can do it, but to me it has no idea how to do that? Front suspension is outstanding. Very, very simple, but works great. The rear is a little bit different. Here we can see that we have the large universal drive shafts, and the universal drive shaft is effectively what is the limiting factor in the suspension drop. There's just no more room to go down with the drive shaft there. The rear suspension doesn't feel as nice as the front. It almost feels a little bit sticky. What's cool too is you can set the rear toe. Why is that there? And thank you. That's incredible. The motor, I can't tell what size motor this is. It says L0039, I think. No, L0030. The tires are very, very nice. I'm surprised to see that. It's interesting because there's a lot of very, very high quality things. All these gray parts here, the way that they're held down, all the hardware, this looks exactly like the same methodology, or the same person, at least the same designer as the WPL D12. Then you've got the midsection, which looks a little bit out of place. The middle of it looks kind of like a toy, but at the front and at the rear and at the front, it's a different story altogether. The body is kind of the same. There's a lot of elements of this that look very, very high quality, but then there's other elements that look kind of inexpensive, like the taillights, the rear panel of the rear, the weird matte windows. I don't know if I'd like it or dislike it right now. There's a lot of molded in details, but then you've got a pretty basic set of headlights. The servo installation is outstanding. That looks great over there. That works beautifully. I want to make some changes to this while we're here. Let's add some tail ash. You know what we're going to do first? I'm going to set the toe so it's a little bit less towed out. Okay, so I just backed these out a turn each. I think that's a heck of a lot better. I've been messing with this thing quite a lot. I was gonna do a bunch of stuff in this video, but then I decided, you know what? It's gonna get way too weird and complicated and convoluted. Let's just complete the regular review on this vehicle. And then in the next video, which is actually going to be about 2 videos after this, because I've already got stuff published and ready to go up, we're going to completely modify this car. I've discovered quite a few amazing little tidbits about it, so I have a lot planned for this. As of now, we are putting the wheels back on. I was just curious because these actually have metal bushings in here. I thought it was just gonna be some cheap plastic on plastic thing, and it just isn't. So this has actually got a little metal bushing. You could use some grease for sure, but again, I'm going to try and run this as is in the event that somebody watching this video wants to see how this car is supposed to behave, instead of what I typically do, which is take a car that arrives and then modify it, and now it's the dumbest product review ever because it is not a product review. So here's what we're going to do. We'll put that almost back together already. Let me complete this and let's take it for a drive.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Ooh. Actually, the precision driving is pretty good on it. It runs really well out here, even on the concrete. So driving this car, the best way I can describe it is anybody who's between 35 and 45 years old, if you've ever played Castlevania on the NES, that's how driving this car feels. It behaves predictably, however, it just feels stiff. And that's a hard thing to describe, but it just feels like the car needs to be broken in. I don't know if that's really the case, but it's a weird thing to describe, but I've never described anything else like this in my life on this channel. But just so you know, to me, it feels stiff. With that said, I love driving it. I had a great time. I probably burned through about 2 battery packs on this car. It lasts a good 20 minutes. And the only reason I didn't do more footage is I was busy driving the car, and then I let one of my buddies drive the car. And then I was at the office, so I let a couple of my friends drive the car while I was at the office. So it got quite a lot of use today. And everybody really enjoyed it. And more importantly, nobody could believe how cheap the car was, despite how full functioned and how much detail and effort went into this car's underpinnings. I love the suspension. I love how intricate it is, front and rear. I think the detail is really good. It sits a little weird. The track is a little bit narrow. A lot of people call this a drift car. And where does it tell you that this car is for drifting? I think the problem is, again, seriously, I'm just double checking because I don't want someone to say, it says right there. I think a lot of people see the 86 and equate it to the Initial D franchise. And as such, oh, it's a drift car, but this really is not a drift car. I drove it on some very slick surfaces and it grips really well. And for me, I think it's outstanding. I really like how it performs. I do not think it's too slow. But again, I think everybody who's watched this channel knows exactly how slowly I drive my car, so perhaps I'm not the best judge of that. There's a reason I didn't put stickers on it, and I didn't do anything to it like I usually do in my review videos, where I tend to modify something. The next time you see this car, we're gonna go through the whole thing. I'm undecided whether or not I'm gonna keep the radio. One of my buddies told me I should because it works fine, and he's right. It's my own prejudice against the style of the radio, but I may keep it because mechanically it's really not going to make much of a difference at all if I change the electronics. So please stay tuned. We're going to go through this entire car. We're going to detail it up. We're going to add lights, of course. Come on, this is AmPro Engineering. That's what we do here, is we add lights. And we're going to see just how cool and scale we can get this car to look. There is a link in the description. Thank you all so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.